Hey, in this post, I want to give a really quick rundown on a book review that I did. It's called Life Will Get Better by Nicole Birkins, PhD. So I'm just going to run through this really quick. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. You can always reach out to the author. So again, health is not all about nutrition, push-ups, attaching lasers to your head, or any other crazy things you've seen me do before. As I've mentioned many times before previously, our relationships play a big part in our health. And that's why I read so many books on parenting, relationships, emotionally coping with others, besides all the other things on mitochondria and biohacking and whatever else I read. So a family member had this book, so I thought, oh, that's cool. I want to learn about it. So I borrowed it, and to try and learn as much as I can. And this is basically the review of it. So this while this book is geared towards parents, dealing with their kids, I would argue that many of these tips I'm about to share with you are for not only for parents themselves, but how to deal with other adults. As well. It's funny how sometimes we want our kids to act better or behave a certain way, yet we don't do it ourselves, or we don't practice what we preach with other adults. And hey, I'm just as guilty. There are five main sections of this book: nutrition, sleep, movement, connection, and cognition. And obviously, these are all things I work on with my personal clients as well at personalbluezones.com. So let me quickly provide the key takeaways of each section. So nutrition. Reducing sugar intake is a sensible strategy to improve your child's physical, cognitive, and emotional health. Artificial sweeteners have no benefit for physical or mental health and have the potential to cause many problematic symptoms, including inattention, hyperactivity, irritability, headaches, anxiety, and more. Avoid feeding children foods and beverages with artificial dyes, preservatives, and other chemicals, as they have been shown to worsen attention, mood, and behavior symptoms. Some children have specific food allergies and sensitivities that negatively impact their functioning. Identifying and removing these foods can lead to significant improvements in attention, anxiety, mood, and behavior. Start the day off with a high quality protein packed breakfast to support attention, mood, behavior, and learning throughout the morning, whether at home or at school. Increasing fruit and vegetable intake helps ensure beneficial levels of essential vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients, and reduces the amount of less healthy food consumed over the course of the day. Drink more water. Increasing water consumption throughout the day can have a positive impact both on mood, behavior, learning, and physical health. Increasing omega-3 fatty acids through foods and supplements supports and improves mood, attention, behavior, and learning. Specific nutrition supplements at the proper doses can be a very important component of treating attention, anxiety, mood, or behavior challenges in children and young adults. Moving children towards healthier eating habits is a process that happens over time. That's the same with adults as well. Small steps implemented consistently will help your child, expand their food preferences, eat more of the foods that are healthy for them, and support, healthy functions for them. So moving on to sleep. So the quantity and quality of your child's sleep matters. It matters for you as well. Knowing how much sleep your child should be getting allows you to determine if your child is sleeping too little or too much. Keep the routine leading up to bedtime consistent in order to provide predictability and in order for your child's brain to prepare for sleep. Common activities in the hours leading up to bedtime help children settle down for sleep more quickly and more easily. What your child eats and drinks before bed can make the difference between sleeping well and sleeping poorly. Provide a small sleep supportive snack to help ensure they have a good night's sleep for everyone in the family if they need it. Reducing exposure to electronic devices, screen time, etc. in the hours leading up to bedtime reduces the time needed to fall asleep and can improve sleep quality. The physical environment can support and promote quality sleep as well. Create an optimal sleep environment for a child can be a very simple solution to getting a good night's sleep. It's important for your children to learn to fall asleep on their own at night. There's a systematic process for moving your child to greater independence when falling asleep, and the time and effort spent on it will save you tons of frustration. Trust me, I know that as a parent of two little kids. Using specific supplements in the proper dose, again, can help your child fall asleep, stay asleep, and have a good night quality of sleep. without the side effects of prescription medications. I'll move on to movement now. Now, if you're seeing a pattern here, these are all things, again, like I mentioned, I work on with my clients, and they're just as transferable to adults. Movement. Reducing the amount of time children spend on screen time supports movement, activity, increases mood, better learning, social development, behavior. Improves mental and physical health. Household chores can provide structure, purposeful movement that promotes sensory integration, develops motor skills, enhances problem-solving skills, improves frustration tolerance, and encourages a healthy sense of personal competence. Games involving physical activity are great for encouraging physical movement and building family relationships. Whether it be tag or something, whatever. Obstacle courses are simple to create and can be used with children of all ages and developmental levels to provide opportunities for structured movement indoors and outdoors. So you can take the cushions and make a fort and things to jump over. Use your imagination. Lycra fabric can provide movement benefits as well, as can be very calming. Can be a very calming sensory environment, useful for helping reduce anxiety and improving emotional and behavioral regulation. So basically, the tightness feels like almost like can be a nice hug for your child. So unintegrated reflexes can be an underlying factor for many children with attention, anxiety, learning, and behavior challenges. So movement in general and specific prescriptive movements used in reflex integration therapy are essential to help children shift from being stuck unintegrated patterns of development into more mature patterns of functioning. So I'm not an expert in that, but you can totally definitely Google that. But basically, just get your kids trying to move more. Again, implementing brief movement breaks at appropriate time intervals during sedentary activities supports your child's attention, learning, mood, behavior, vision, and physical health. There's I guess it depends on the school. Well, there's usually a morning recess, an afternoon recess, and a lunch break. So at least 3 times they're kind of moving up to help them, get that break from learning and help their mind, develop. Moving on to connection. The guided participation relationship between parent and child is essential for supporting child development across all domains in order for children to attain the highest degree of competency and independence possible. A parent's ability to stay calm when the child is distressed or angry is critical for managing the situation in a way that promotes calming and builds a positive relationship between parent and child. And I'll be the first to admit, this is one area I am constantly working on myself. We're not all perfect. Certainly not me. Reducing verbal communication, especially during moments when a child is stuck, frustrated, upset, or anxious, helps the child more effectively process languages, reduces stress, and promotes a supportive relationship between the parent and child. Statements set a supportive tone for communication between parent and child, reduce impulsive responses, and encourages development of thoughtful communication and language processing skills. Slowing down the pace of activities and communication can have a positive impact on child's ability to process information, stay calm and relaxed, and respond to task demands throughout the day. It also leads to more positive, supportive relationships between parent and child. Situations that are overly complex can be frustrating and create a sense of incompetence for children and parents. Simplifying activities and expectations promotes a stronger parent-child relationship, lessens resistance on the part of the child, and leads to more successful engagement. Intense emotional and behavioral charged situations can arise between parents and children with attention, anxiety, mood, and behavior challenges. When this happens, stop the action. Strategy supports the needs of the child, reduces the duration and intensity of the child's reaction, and strengthens the connection between the parent and the child. Zone of connection is the amount of space between parent and child that allows for continuous engagement and attention to one another. So establishing the appropriate zone of connection for children allows them to stay better engaged and attentive to people and activities. A great way for parents to strengthen the relationship with their child, reduce anxiety, and promote positive communication and relationship skills is to engage in periods of uninterrupted, non-demanding time together on a regular basis. Again, I'm just as guilty of this. I run a couple businesses. My wife's busy. We got stuff around the house, but you're making the time to do stuff with your children one-on-one goes a very long way. Cognition, last section we'll talk about here. Constant direct prompting, such as repeated Verbal reminders or you're telling your children what to do can create prompt dependence. This reduces the opportunities for children to grow in their ability to think and problem solve independently. Again, I'm guilty of that as well. Children with rigid, inflexible thinking and behavior have weak, flexible thinking skills. Implementing a consistent process for helping them become more comfortable with change in routine and environment is necessary to reduce anxiety and improve tolerance for change. Understanding that mistakes are expected and manageable is essential for children to develop positive self-esteem and appropriate coping skills. Children with attention, anxiety, mood, and behavior challenges tend to have low frustration tolerance that can lead to poor emotional and behavioral regulation. Using strategies to improve frustration tolerance allows children to persevere in the face of challenging or uncomfortable situations. Providing your child with opportunities to problem solve throughout the day supports the development of problem solving skills and emotional resiliency. Teaching children to accurately identify the problem they encounter is essential to helping them feel a sense of control over their lives and circumstances and to implement effective solutions. Guiding children to generate and think through potential solutions is a critical part of helping them learn to manage and solve problems independently. Problem-solving journals are a simple way to teach children to anticipate problems that they may encounter, as well as reflect on past experiences in order to learn from them. Activities that promote mindfulness help children slow down, improve awareness, attend to what is really going on with them and around them, and develop the ability to think before acting. Spotlighting positive experiences, modeling our own positive outlook, and communication is more positive, and communicating in more positive ways can really help children with chronically negative attitudes shift towards a more positive focus. I believe many of these key takeaways are pretty obvious to any of you who are listening to this and very easy to understand. You know, even without reading the book, I think we all intuitively know these things. You know, some other people really need the context of a book. You know, and if you want to be a better parent, especially if you have children or if anyone in your life, you know, has challenges, I would highly recommend this book to you. And you know, while I don't specifically work with children myself, as I alluded to, obviously I have my own children. You know, I have nieces and nephews, and you know, friends of my kids, and that sort of thing. Friends of kids of clients, etc. So I'm very engaged in this. I'm very interested in this topic. Again, more so from a selfish point of view, from working with my own children and making our relationships better. Because again, relationships are so key to longevity and is a huge part of my Build Your Personal Blue Zone masterclass. Relationships are huge. So again, if anyone wants to, I'm going to post a link for this book in the description here. I've also done a book review, and that's on my website. So you can check that out at Deepak Saini Health. If you want to know how to work with me on not only relationships that you may have, or you know, nutrition, sleep, movement, etc., and all the other biohacking, all the other things I work on in my masterclass program, just reach out to me at personalbluezones.com. And take care, and we will talk to you later. Cheers.